Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time it is at the moment that you're watching. And it also depends on where you're watching. If you're watching on YouTube, YouTube tends to get this first. So this video should be out in about 4, 5 hours from now. If you're watching on LinkedIn, I a few days ago shared some of my videos on LinkedIn. Traction has been good, so I think I'll be doing that every now and then. If you're watching on LinkedIn, you probably would see this Monday morning. So sign up and follow on YouTube because YouTube has way more content and the aim is to grow my YouTube audience. So I can't have all my videos on LinkedIn. From time to time, once I see a sizable audience on LinkedIn, then yeah, I might decide to shoot some videos exclusively for LinkedIn. Anyways, I do this every Sunday, every just before the trading week. I look at stocks that went in the news or are or where momentum plays last week and just come up with a watch list of what I'll be keeping an eye on. Please note that this is not financial or investment advice. It's not trading advice. Do your own research. And let's go. First on my list, NIMET, best performing stock last week, up 60.54%. The stock, I believe, may dip a bit because if you bought it last week and you're up 60.5%, I mean, you've beaten inflation, you've beaten the all share index. You might decide, I'm good. Let me take a break. Let me sell off part of all I've held. So I think it will pull back. And by pull back, I mean there might be a slight dip in price. Elix was also an actively played stock last week, active in terms of trading volumes, um, top gainer in terms of price appreciation, rose by 31% last week. Friday, the company sent in an announcement that they intend to raise 250 billion to acquire an asset. The stock dipped a bit, then recovered. So I think it will still be very much in play this week as well. So it's also possible traders may take profit because if you've made 31% in a week, again, you've beaten inflation, you've beaten the all share index, which I think is up around 15 or 16 or 17% this year. So taking profit from a trading perspective is a sensible thing to do. Next, PZ Cousins, Nigeria, that is. Board meeting was to hold last week to consider unaudited full year 2025 numbers. Those should be released anytime from now. I have a broader video on PZ in the channel where I give my forecast on where I think it will trade and all that. So I'm expecting to see these numbers. Now, if you, whether you're a trader or whether you're an investor, whichever way it is, those numbers are quite useful. If you're a trader, you have positive numbers, stock has been rallying. I mean, if you look at the 1 year, the post FX shock, company has rallied. If you're an investor, yeah, things are a bit spotty because a few months ago, management or the core shareholder, PZ Cousins of the UK, had wanted to exit, and somehow they've not been able to come to agreement with some retail investors. So, in my view, I think as an investor for a company that, I mean, from all intentions, very likely is on its way to exiting, or where possible, the key investor would want to exit or key shareholder, then I don't know. I don't think it's a fundamental play. But never say never. You can't exactly predict how these things tend to go. So that's why PZ has a spot. FTN Cocoa, it seems like there's been a broad rally, an increase in price across companies in the agri space. FTN Cocoa, Oko Presco, Ella, generally there's been an increase in price. So it's FTN traded large volumes last week. I think that may continue this week. We may also see an uptick in price as that sector comes under spotlight. Next, Oko Presco and NACO have a joint spot on my watch list this week because at some point in time in the last couple of weeks, they all traded at record highs. NACO last week crossed 101, and that was the first time last week. I believe it joined the 100 Naira club Then it pulled back a bit to sub 100 naira. So it's possible it could rebound or trade. We just trade sideways within this level. Okomu has been also been on an uptick. In some ways, investors kind of view it as a peer to Presco, even though Presco is a way bigger firm. But I think investors feel, look, if Presco has crossed the 1,000 naira mark, Como is still 700, 600 ish. Maybe that's a place they can key into. I mean, like I said, it's a smaller firm, so you cannot value both. And in fact, I have a video on YouTube where I put all three firms side by side, and Okomu is the most expensive by book value, or trading at a price to book value ratio. So obviously, I don't see why that stock should rally, but investors, especially a lot of retail investors, don't look at fundamentals but look at absolute whole figures. Beggar Paints has been on an upward trajectory and could continue in the coming week ahead. Zenit Bank, same reason as well. Zenit Bank has been trading on an upward trajectory. And some people, and again, it also makes common sense. The only factor I would say holding this stock back and just generally holding some of the banking stocks is there's not enough clarity on around forbearance loans that the CBN had prior to now allowed them to, if I can use the word, allow them to just keep in abeyance of the usual rules. But the CBN, in the circular that was released a few weeks ago, said, look, you have a deadline, you need to have all these loans sorted out, you need to get your single obligor limits back into what the regulations require. So there's a lot of uncertainty around that. Not many banks have in clarity, but again, investors may have decided to say, hey, like I said in my thread, go with a leap of faith and do your own numbers. And the video I did on Zenit Bank maybe would shed a bit context as to why maybe you're seeing this momentum in it. Because clearly, if you're going by book value and potential book value, in a year from now, then this stock should be trading higher. But hey, that's how it is. So that's it for this week. Let me know if you have any questions. For the global markets, US markets, I have a separate video that will be out on Monday for everyone, YouTube, LinkedIn. And do like, share, subscribe wherever you see this as well. I would have versions go out on Instagram and TikTok as well. So do let me know. Any questions, comments, suggestions. Have a good trading week ahead.